live stream is off. Cool.
That was good fun, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's funny. I didn't look at the clock, but we went a lot longer than normal. Normally, I have a clock here on my phone.
Oh yeah.
But I lost my phone about 3 hours ago. So normally I sort of look over and go, you know, so we should wrap out pretty soon. Yeah, we went a lot longer than normal, and I don't think anybody's going to care because it was fascinating conversation that led into safety. It led into you know, the longevity, the inspiration is where it sort of, you know, we cruxed in a good place. You know, it's all of this stuff. You know, you have the foreplay and then the middle bit, and then hopefully a crescendo at the end. You know.
I mean, I learned, and it made me reflect all conversations we had, and I think that's a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
You had some really good thoughts. I was thinking about that. You know, and you talked about, and one thing is to be inspired, but another thing is to calm down. You know, the meditation. And I was just thinking about, I'm here with my girlfriend, and she is meditating, and I'm not. And she asked me, but I haven't. Yeah, so sometimes you just have to have this outside voice telling you, just focus, man. Well,
yeah, and we're all coaching each other, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right? You know, the mirror, that's all it is. The interesting story I wanted to share quickly is that if you remember in the Perfect Flight series, you guys were in Voss at one, and you were doing, so it was like Wingsuit boot camp.
Yeah.
The title of that one. And you stayed at Mox's place up on the hill.
Yeah.
Well, we had stayed there, my family, maybe 2 weeks before.
Oh yeah.
In the same room. So we're watching this, and it was like, "Hey, wait, Joshua, Matthew, come here! Look, that's our room. That's our room." Well, that when we were there, Joshua discovered. I don't know if you remember. There's a fire extinguisher right by the front door. And Joshua discovered how fire extinguishers work.
Wow.
Pulled the pin and filled that whole place up. I guess they cleaned it up before you got there, but the landlord had to come and clean it up and put a new fire extinguisher.
I vaguely remember something about that. Vaguely.
It was right before you guys were there. It's great.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is quite a few years ago now, actually. It's that was in 2013, so 4 years ago.
And I wanted to ask you were flying a suit, I think it was a Tony that you were playing with, that you were still trying to figure out how to fly. Was that the Jedi?
Yeah.
It was. Because 2 weeks before, I had a brand new Jedi that I was also flying, experimenting with, and I was having issues with, you know, latitude of control and all that. Yeah, actually, it's
super interesting. That's right. I had he got to produce the Jedi that I was testing out. Yeah, it was. I was just about to decide to fly quite a lot of Tony's suits back then. I was fascinated by the way he made suits. Basically, I felt he made something that was very functional. And I was leaning more and more towards skydiving at the time. I really enjoyed skydiving more. And then I saw that his suits are more skydiving made. They have a different wing profile. It's thicker. You can relax more in the wing. While Robert Peckney was making more like pure base jumping wingsuits. And I was just fascinated. And I really liked all his suits. They're amazing.
Well, I'm experimenting a lot with this one, with the Jedi, because it's, you know, it's kind of a racing suit. It's got a lot of tail, and it doesn't turn very well, but it's very efficient. But this one, I think it'll be interesting to share with Tony next week. Not only did I make a cross port from one wing to the other, back below the BOC, there's a tube of fabric, so if the right wing inflates, the left one will. So if you're jumping out of an airplane that's going very fast, this way you don't have one wing inflate. So that was my first experiment. It works very well. Been flying it for several years. But now I've got a connection that I've been playing with the details. So imagine from the tips of your controls, the tip of the bar, through the wing, down to your foot, to a little link back there, across to the leg wing. So when you pull them apart, it actually tensions the trailing edge of the wing and pulls it up.
Wow.
So it gives you positive elevator control just from your controls.
No way.
So that you can be
that
in the
is just the craziest. I never. Yeah, right? Yeah. So you basically
you get the perfect form, and then you just nose it up just a little bit more.
So you can basically maintain a perfect body position, and then you just tension out and.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an airplane.
Yes.
That's proper airplane mode. That is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never thought of that. Like, I spent a lot of time dreaming, and I had all this like faults of wingsuiting. I'm a horrible soarer or something, so I would never fix stuff, but I would talk to people like told me about it. But this I've never thought of.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. I just kind of go, all right, well, what haven't we done yet? With all of this stuff, the airlock and the parachutes. It was like, well, what haven't we done yet? When I was talking to you in Voss and you had your pilot chute all spun up, just off the top, I was like, well, wait a minute, what if you lubricate the kill line? Put the lubricant on the kill line from the silicone, right? And now I told the whole world about it. Everybody's doing it, but I invented it talking to you.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just like, I wonder. And then I tested it, obviously. It works great. So actually, the other conversation I should share with you that we had was I was testing a quasi cross brace for a wingsuit at the time. And I remember you said, cross brace for a wingsuit? And you just had this look like, I'm not so sure I like that idea. And I actually backtracked from where I was going with that and started a new product that I'm working on that I'll be testing shortly, which is a 7-cell, a lower aspect ratio elliptical that doesn't have cross braces, but it's an airlock canopy with tri-cell wingtips, because I want better glide ratio out of the wingsuit canopy.
Yeah. Tony is himself, he almost refuses to jump a classic square 7-cell canopy. I think he jumps a velocity, or
I think he's on a JVX.
JVX is that. Yeah, it looks kind of
JFX, I think it is.
JFX. Yeah, it's quite fascinating when he comes down for landing, because it's supposed to be this role model and everybody's talking about the 7 cells, and he just like charges down, and he says, nah, he can't stand those 7 cells. He's like, well, have it toggle, and the harness doesn't really have any input, and the openings are kind of hard. And it's like, no. Yeah. My JFX. So
it's not a good way to lead, though.
No, you can say that, but at the same time, he is touching into something that you would probably agree on. There is more potential than just making a 7-cell and jump wings. It's certainly possible to make a more efficient wing that is still safe.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? I don't know. I'm not the expert here. But
well, it's somewhere in between. I don't think that a full cross brace canopy makes any sense. I mean, maybe I could make it open, perfectly, but if you get line twists and you're on your back and you have all this suit going everywhere, it's asking you, your reserve deployment may not work well.
Yeah. Oh.
So I don't think it's a good way to lead, but that's why this new canopy kind of makes sense to me.
Interesting. Yeah, but personally, I jumped Pilot 7, the new 7-cell version of the Pilot.
So what do you think so far?
I like it. Yeah. It has interesting differences from other canopies I've used.
Spectre, right? Because when
it seems to me that the Spectre is tiny touch steeper trimmed and has longer lines. That's just my impression of it, because when I use a Spectre, I could, for example, take down my fronts without any surging, just like take them down and almost effortless use the fronts. Yeah. On the Pilot 7, it's heavy. Yeah. I need to kind of empty the canopy for air, and then I go for something. So it has more tension there, and that also I also feel that the recovery arch is quicker on the Pilot 7.
Yeah,
the canopies are great, and they're especially with wingsuit, they're just brilliant, and it's almost fascinating how good they are. I've been paying quite a lot of attention to it, and I've used a lot of back camera, filming backwards, just looking at the results of it, and I don't have really good statistics on this, but it seems like it's opening just as good as my base canopy. Looking at off headings, line twists, it's just the same. It's the same style. It's like the opus the same every time, and sometimes it's a little bit off, like a 45 off or maybe a 90 off every now and then. I've had 2 line twists in 700 jumps.
Wow.
And then I have had some severe ones, but that's when the bag hits my heel. That is more like
it's not the parachute's fault. Yeah.
Exactly. That is actually just I'm creating it by my own total mistake with my heel. But it's quite extraordinary how good the canopy have been treating me. But it's really important to remember that this is me speaking, that you met me being quite an inexperienced, like I probably had 1,500 skydives or something when I talked to you, but they've happened over 13, 14 years. The last 4 years, I've done tons of skydives. I have support from the federation, so I can do skydives for $8,000 a year, just supported by them. On top of that, it's just organizing and training and all that other stuff. So I'm a whole different skydiver now. And it also means that every time I go wingsuiting, I'm current, and I have a very specific way. Like I'm attacking, I'm flattening, I'm flaring, I'm flattening again, I'm pitching, I continue flying, I stick to the harness. Everything is like bam, 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 bam. Everything is just really specific in everything I do. And that, of course, helps the statistics a lot.
You know, I always flare to check my airspeed before pitching with wingsuit, so it's not start opening. But I normally drop my nose a little bit when I'm pitching.
I do too.
You do drop the nose a little bit.
Yeah, I flare, and then I just drop my nose a little bit, and I actually let myself sink in a little bit while this canopy opening is happening. I try to find the same speed every time. It's quite tricky, though. It's the biggest, most performance-thrown wingsuits today because they're so inflated that they don't really want to. They just want to fly. Even you know, the slider is halfway down to my head, and they're still flying. They never give up, it seems like. And then the challenge starts. But
yeah, absolutely. It's fascinating. And the wingsuit itself is evolving, and the parachute is evolving. But to evolve things that are compatible is a tricky balance.
Yeah.
Hey, come on over, Matthew. Come say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Matthew.
Hey, Matthew. They're back.
So I guess I met Matthew. Did I? Did I meet Matthew? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
you could.
Yeah, he had longer hair last time we were in Norway. Very long hair.
Long hair. And how old are you now, Matthew?
4.
4. So you must have been super young then.
Yep.
Because we met.
He was 2.
2.
Yeah, we didn't go this past summer.
So you don't remember me.
What, are you naked? You can't go on TV unless you've got a shirt on.
Isn't it late now? Shouldn't you guys be to bed?
Yeah, I don't know why you're not asleep. You have school tomorrow. Matthew doesn't have to deal with that, but Joshua should be in bed already. But he's waiting for me to read him a story, probably.
All right.
What?
You should go and read that story. I'm actually going like outside this room over there. I think my girlfriend is sitting, and I told her I'm done by 9. I'm done by 9. It's 10.
I said the same thing. Yeah. Oh well, but I mean that's great. It worked really, really well.
Yeah.
In every way. Yeah, so
thank you for asking me, and I'm glad I could. I was sort of desperate there half an hour before because I was facing to see it in the bar at the perfect spot there, and I was like, no, that's just gonna be noisy and really bad. And then I managed to convince them to let me sit here in the team room. So everything worked out. It was a good talk.
Yeah.
And you enjoy you get your dad off there. You know, we can't talk anymore. You guys got to go and read the story.
Yeah, I've been sitting. All right. Well, have a wonderful evening. All right.
You know how I look like when I'm really focusing and I'm flying and I'm getting nervous? This is my face. So if I'm kind of, in a mental state where I can smile, I like trying to be cool, but then when I'm okay, no, it happened. Yeah, that's my look. Look terrible.
You probably do it skiing too.
Yeah, skiing. I even have people saying, Espen, you should work on this. It's not good.
But I feel happy. I just look ridiculous. All right, quit it. All right, I'll see you later, Espen.
See you later. Thanks for the talk.
Yes,
I have no idea how to shut this off. I guess you are.
Yep. Yeah, I'll stop it on this end. But you have a wonderful evening.
You too.
Tell your girlfriend that I said thank you for sharing you with us.
I will. All right. Enjoy the evening, guys.
In a silver car with a borrowed guitar, ready to travel so far.